That just goes right live now. Cool. Welcome, guys, for an unboxing stream of Secrets of Strixhaven. I'm excited. I played pre-release last night. Fucking awesome set to pre-release. Not gonna lie. Like, if you have a pre-release event or a draft event, go play this. Secrets of Strixhaven is a super, super fun set for pre-release. 100%. I'm just kind of waiting for the stream to kind of get started here. I'll probably actually just take a tour through my deck that I did at pre-release. Let me just refocus here. So first off, we pulled this bad boy. This bad boy is crazy. If you have a green counter deck, throw this motherfucker in. All right, this shit is ballin'. Okay, Germination Practicum. Sorcery Lesson. Put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. And then Paradigm, which is a wild goddamn keyword. All right, you get to exile this spell. After you first resolve a spell with this name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your first main phases. So basically, after you resolve this spell once, you get to cast it once per turn at the beginning of your main phase, or for your first main phase, I should specify, for free the rest of the game. This is disgusting. This is going to go extremely well with Ouroboros decks, extremely well with Bristly Build decks. Like, this shit is fire. If you get this at pre-release or something, throw this in your deck, especially if you're in Quandrix. It is ballin'. Of course, we got Cuboid Colony. Lots of people have already been telling you why this is good. I mean, it has all the keywords. Increment is a fantastic keyword. No surprise there. Planar Engineering. If you're building a landfall deck, this card should be on your radar. Sacrifice 2 lands, go find 4, slap them on the battlefield, get 4 landfall triggers. Enough said. Amortitis Videation. Let's go. This was a solid pull in my pre-release. It's a good card. Don't understand the controversy over the Ancestral Recall part of it. It's not a reserve list reprinting, and you have to pay 5 mana for the privilege to pay 1 mana to cast it. Also, I don't agree with the people that say Ancestral Recall is a strong card anymore. It is, like, good, but, like, Modern Magic, it's not really that overpowered anymore, so whatever. It's a reserve list, but you have to pay 5 mana to play it, so who cares? Don't understand the controversy over this card. This card is just fine. Chase Inspiration. Basic hexproof thing. Helpful. Additive Evolution. This thing, it looks like it costs a lot of mana, but it is very necessary. If you're playing Quandrix, you want to play this, okay? This is so solid. I've got 2 of them in this deck. It just basically allows you to make giant fractals that trigger your increment. It is a solid card. Sorry. It makes fractal and then allows you to put more +1/+1 counters on a creature at the beginning of combat. And it gives it vigilance. So, like, this thing, solid enchantment. If you're in Quandrix, highly recommend. Banishing Betrayal, basic, yada yada, return a thing to the hand and get to surveil. Nothing crazy. Flash Flying Vigilance, this is a handy card. Allows you to blink something else if it gets targeted and fizzles someone's spell. So if you pull this, very handy card. And a lot of actually the houses, it's very handy. Additive Evolution, it's another one in there. We already saw that. It's very nice. This is the one I was looking for. Wild Hypothesis. This lets you make the big boys, all right, and trigger your increments. So do get a couple copies of this if you are in Quandrix. This is fire. 100, just reach and increment. Helpful to deal with flyers. Spellbook Seeker. Again, just a nice little flying creature. Allows you to draw cards and discard cards if you have a kind of crappy hand. Great. Shared Roots. Nice card. Lets you fetch stuff. Fetch a land early on for no real downsides. Good stuff. Quick Study. It's a 3 mana draw 2 cards for no downside. Helpful. Deluge. It's fun. Just allows you to stun a thing. Really helps you get to the mid game in Quandrix if you are playing Quandrix. Very helpful card to stall out your opponents. Berta Wise Extrapolator. This bad boy is one powerful frog. All right, if you're building a frog deck or something, or just in Quandrix, I highly recommend, because what this guy does is, besides having increment, this man also, whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Berta, add 1 mana of any color, so he is a mana dork on top of that. And then if you look at his little X cost at the bottom, that seems a little familiar, doesn't it? Oh yeah, that's essentially being able to cast this guy with it, the Surveil, once per turn, or unless you have something to be able to untap this creature. And there are the creatures that untap things in Secrets of Strixhaven. So yeah, so this thing is ballin' as a blue-green character. Straight up Fire Frog. Awesome stuff. I got him as my foil promo in my seeded deck. Sadly, there is no promo stamp anymore. Wizards, what are you doing? This I had beef with WotC over this card, okay? Like, WotC, we got beef. All right, read this card. Does this card look confusing to you? No, because it's not. It's a very simple card, but it was errated immediately. Could not tell you why. Okay, it says this creature enters with a number of stun counters on it equal to 3 minus X. Period. If it entered with a stun counter on it, tap it. That doesn't sound confusing. It's basically just pay 4 mana, you get a 6/6. In green, that's like normal, okay? So WotC decided to errata text this card immediately for no good reason, and decided to make it so that this card always enters tapped, regardless if you pay the extra mana to remove the stun counters on it. It is stupid of an errata. It makes no sense. This card is perfectly fine and balanced, as it is for green. Honestly, Wizards, please remove that errata. That was a stupid change. You clearly wrote it with the clear intention of how it's supposed to be played. It is not written in a confusing manner. It is not written in a manner that would otherwise confuse people. Just, it's stupid, okay? The errata on this card is stupid. Please, please, WotC, just get rid of that errata text and just leave this card as it was written. There is no reason to change the text on this card. Procrastinate. This is a very powerful early game card, okay? The stun counter mechanic on this is actually kind of broken and really saved my ass in pre-release. So even on like turn 3, you have 3 lands, right? All right, you get Procrastinate, tap that for 2 value on the X, tap target creature, put twice X stun counters on it. All right, this is gonna stall out your opponent's big guy that they're dropping on turn 3 if they have one for 4 turns and let you get a board state built up so that they can't really swing anymore with it. If you are in Quandrix, this is a key card you want to have in your deck. All right, this is going to allow you to get to that late game without dying, because there's not a lot of life gain in Quandrix. Very important card. Wild Hypothesis, we've already seen that. Aberrant Mana Worm. This guy, big boy, scary, it's hella useful, fantastic card. It's got trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Just becomes a big boy with trample every time you cast an instant or sorcery. It's a good shit. Run behind, just a little sneaky yada yada to get rid of an opponent's attacking creature. Very useful. A little workaround. Costs 1 less if it's targeting an attacking creature, which is probably where the best value to do it is, on the 3 cost. Zamone's Experiment. Just a handy little thing. Just allows you to basically look through the top 5 cards of your library, pick some stuff around, and then put some stuff on the bottom that you don't need. Quite handy. In the same kind of theme, we got Paradox Surveyor. It's a little bit cheaper. It's a 3/3 creature with reach on top of that, and this allows you, especially if you're in Quandrix, is a good card, because it'll allow you to fetch those cards with X cost in their mana cost in the top of your deck for the top 5 cards as well, or land. So if you need a land or a card with an X value, Paradox Surveyor is your guy. And this is a common, but don't be fooled. This common is actually super powerful and kind of lost the game for me when I was going on a Quandrix versus Quandrix against someone who had 2 of these bad boys. Because this guy is a little bit scary. So Terrafractal is a creature with flying. This creature enters with X+1/+1 counters on it. And when this creature enters, you gain 2 life. So this is great for triggering your increment creatures, and also gives you a little bit of life gain, and just becomes a very big boy with flying. So that's a very fun thing. Quandrix Charm, very handy. Allows you to change the base power and toughness of a creature to 5/5, and you got to remember, since Quandrix is all about putting +1/+1 counters on it, that does not affect your +1/+1 counters. All right, so what that means is you just make your creature bigger. Okay, and then of course you can get some other stuff, some destroy target enchantment or destroy target spell. Counter target spell. Very handy all around for 2 mana. It's a good card to have if you're in Quandrix. Fractalize. Till end of turn, target creature becomes a green and blue fractal with base power and toughness each equal to X+1. Now, originally, I was thinking about using this as a buff, and then I realized this is so much better to target your opponent's creatures with, because you don't have to pay that X value. You can just pay the 1 blue, and the target opponent's creature becomes a 1/1. It's a great card to like force a card down to a 1/1. It is lovely. Gotta love it. Then you have Muse Seeker. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Then discard a card unless 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell. Gotta be careful with this one. It is a forced draw. Anytime you have a forced draw in Magic, you need to be considerate about what you have in your deck, okay? It can be very easy to accidentally deck yourself if you cause too many triggers to go on a card like this. So be careful with any card that requires a force draw. But that is my pre-release deck. It popped off pretty well. Ran out of time on some of the games. But it was a very fun deck to play. Pre-release was very fun in the Secrets of Strixhaven. If you have the chance to get out to a local TCG store and play, I highly recommend. Or for playing a draft, highly recommend. It's a great time. Great set to crack. And yeah, notable pulls I got from my win pack that I got from one of my games, as well as some of my 3 play boosters that I bought before pre-release, just because, yeah, collector booster boxes are great, but there's only 12 packs in here. I need a little bit more to supplement it. But yeah, we had a cracked pack, so one I want to highlight specifically. So, not him. Where's my boy? There's my boy. I ended pulling up from a play booster a hella cracked pack. We had this triple mythic pack, okay, that had this set of bad boys in it. All right, we got the foil Witherbloom, the Balancer, Elder Dragon. And, you know, just because the pack didn't need enough fanciness, this guy is trading for, I think, 45 USD, so that's like 60 CAD right now on its own. Like, you know, the pack didn't feel like this was just enough as it is, so I decided to throw in 2 other mythics, little $10 and I think like a $4 USD mythic on top of that. So total value Canadian, roughly like $75 out of a like $7.99 play booster. Literally could not ask for more out of a play booster like that. Plus just 3 mythics and a play booster. Crazy odds. That's a cracked. That is what a god pack looks like in Magic, if I have ever seen. The only thing that could have made this better is all 3 of the Elder Dragons, but that's just getting greedy at that point. This was a crazy pull. super awesome. The Elder Dragons in this set are wild cards. And then, of course, some various rares from the other 3 packs we cracked there. Fancy. I really like the art on this one, Bring to Light. It is very, very fancy, especially with the foil treatment. Oh, it looks so pretty. Looks so pretty. All right. But with no further ado, let's get cracking into this bad boy. May include sterilized card. Who knows? Let's see if our luck pans out here. So far, so good. I think there was only 1 play booster pack between my pre-release kit and the play boosters I bought. On top of that, only 1 of those play boosters did not have more than 1 rare in it, which was fucking crazy. Most of them had 2 or 3. And then, of course, that triple mythic pack, which was just nuts. I pulled like 3 mythics on my pre-release pack alone. It was stacked. So, ooh, this is like very foily. My crazer is like, do all the collector boosters have the foiling? Oh yeah, no, my yeah, my thing did as well. All right, so let's pull collector boosters out of here. Well, bam. Well, bam. Let's quickly double check, make sure that WotC did not go and jip us. Do we have 12 boosters? We got 4 in that pile. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 in that pile. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 in that pile. That makes 12. All right. So where do we want to start? We're going to start from the right. Start on this guy. All right. Let's get these out of the way. Let's put them over here. All right. Let's bring in the fun light. It's a little thing I was doing for the microcontroller, just for funsies. Here, just get that. There we go. Wow. Oh, it's like super washed out. Pretend that there's a lovely, LED here. I just got enough lights on here to just actually be able to see the cards on the camera. But the RGB LEDs there are getting a little washed out. But let's crack our first collector booster here, and let's see what we're gonna get out of it. I put my sleeves because I know people are gonna be very annoyed if I pull a very expensive card and do not have sleeves to put it in immediately. Oh, genuinely, where the fuck did I put those? Ah, you were here a minute ago. Where did you disappear to? Where did they go? Oh, freaking behind me. Jesus Christ. Alright, there we go. Got my sleeves. Come on, penny sleeves. Alright. Let's crack this booster. Ah, man, what's WotC? Can you please, like, consistently, give us a cut here, like, on the side? Like, why is it so hard to not consistently remember to put your cut in? I do not understand. It's slightly annoying to try and do them this way. I don't like opening packs this way. Feels way more sketchy. All right. Start with pack number 1. Ooh, Deluge Varioso, but in foil. That very fancy foil treatment. Actually, it's just a regular foil. But regardless. All right. I'm just gonna put a non-foil card just the thing. So Deluge Virtuoso. We already talked about him, so we're just gonna put this over here. Potioner Strove. It's a mana rock. Tap to add 1 mana of any color, and tap to gain life. Only if you've activated a sorcery or instant spell this turn. Ooh, and of course, very shiny, very shiny. Quick Study in foil. Very nice, very nice. Masterful Flourish. Instant. Target creature control gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. That is very Wither. Is this Wither? No, actually, that is meant to be an. Oh god, what's it called? Silver Quill. You can tell because he's swinging an ink pen. Alright, what do we got next here? Molten Note. Alright, deals damage to target creature equal to the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. Alright, so it's basically just a fuck you for X. And then has flashback, a very expensive flashback. You may cast this card. Does like the 6 colorless basically equal your X when you flashback on this? I'm assuming it has to be. No, that's the only way I can think of for the flashback to really work. But anyways, moving on. We have Orisa Tide Choreographer. It is a Merfolk Bard. This spell costs 3 less to cast if your creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater. Alright, so this is basically a 2 cost if you're in Quandrix by the time you play this. And when it enters, it draws 2 cards. I'm actually going to sleeve that one because that is actually a very nice card. Ooh, I see a Japanese, but it's not in foil. Alright. But we have Transcendent Archaic. You know what? I think it's meant to go for Eldrazi. It's not really Eldrazi, but like it fits in a vibe of Eldrazi deck. The Archaics, I don't. They're just too costly mana wise, in my opinion, to feel like they're gonna really be a good card overall. Eldrazi, it might fit, but otherwise, probably not gonna be too big. Alright, so we got an uncommon Japanese here. Not gonna lie, I do not know what these are just based on the arts. You know what? Let me pull up a Scryfall up here with with Secrets of Strixhaven so I can actually tell you what this card actually is. Scryfall, please. Show me Secrets of Strixhaven. Let's find. Actually, I know what everything is. Can I sort this by Japanese art specifically? Sadly, I cannot. Alright. Does this not have any of the Japanese foils? Scryfall, why don't you have the Japanese arts as a reference? Not helpful. Fine, okay, we'll figure out what this is. Where's an instant that has a bunch of ones? Oh, of course it's not gonna have this because this isn't actually from Strixhaven. It's a reprint of something from the Mystical Archives. Does Scryfall at least have the Mystical Archives spread out or no? No, it does not. So unfortunately, we're not going to know what this card is because I cannot read Japanese. but I do know it is a nice looking art, and I will figure that out later for whatever that is. We're going to sleeve that up, put that aside. Our first foil uncommon mystical archive here is Monstrous Rage. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll token attached to it. If you control another roll on it, put that one into the graveyard. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 until it has trample. It's a little confusing. I might have to look up that mechanic because I don't think I have seen that mechanic before. I'm gonna have to figure out how that works. But for now, we're gonna get that in a sleeve since it is a foil, mystical archive. We're gonna move on, and we get a nice full art foil basic planes. Lovely, jubbly. All right. Here is our first rare flashback. It is an instant. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, which is very nice and handy. Let's leave that bad boy up. Always good for a red deck. Our next rare is Oilin Spiralmancer. It is a 4 mana. This is a commander card. It is a bird wizard with flying and vigilance. Whenever you cast your first spell with X in its mana cost each turn, you may copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. That is gross, especially when we are talking about Mathemagics, because this is a blue card. This is going to be disgusting to play with Mathemagics in a commander deck. Why don't I just copy and deck multiple people, you know? Anyways. Ooh, it looks like we got a rare. Ooh, we got a mythic Japanese art in this deck. Ooh, that's a little thing. Okay. Alright, it's not the foil version, but I'm sure it's still probably going to be a little worth something. We got a road. So this is destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tap, then shuffle, destroy a creature or planeswalker for 1 mana, and give them a land. That is... Oh, I see nice things. I see nice things. Spoilers. Spoilers. It's kind of hard to slide these bags without accidentally spoiling cards in the back. But yeah, very nice, very nice. A road is a very nice card. And then we have whatever this is. It is a mythic. It is a 4 mana mythic. But I'm really not sure what this is. It is 4 mana in white. Japanese. It is not a foil, though, so I'm not really sure, honestly, what this is. I will have to, like, look up the Japanese foils at some point. We'll probably do that later. I'll put all the Japanese foils to the side, and then we'll find somewhere where we can look up the Japanese ones and figure out what we actually got with those. I think that would be ideal, because I would like to know what they are, because I need to be able to play these. And, yeah. Okay. Cool. So, then we have as our next card, which is Ballin. It is the foil Professor Delianfell. Oh, don't mind if I do. Thank you. Whatsy. It's a very nice Planeswalker, Delianfell. So he is a legendary Planeswalker. His +2 is to gain 3 life. Gaining 3 life for no downsides? What? Crazy. His 0 is draw a card and lose 1 life. And then destroy target creature from -3. And from -6, you get an emblem with whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that. Are you fucking... That is gross. You only need to +2 this once. Actually, you don't even need to +2 this once if you use one of those cards that allows your planeswalkers to enter with additional loyalty counters on it. So that's disgusting. absolutely disgusting. Delian Fell. If you pull that in pre-release or draft night, throw that shit in your deck. That is gross AF. Can't complain about that. Nice foil pull. Getting our value out of this collector booster box. Welcome, person that has joined. And then we got a nice foil Spirit and Illusion token. Nice. All right. So I would say that's pretty good pulls overall. I mean, we got 2 mythics and that pack and a bunch of rares with lots of the things in foil. So really cannot complain from the pulls from pack number 1. All right, let's get on to pack number 2. All right. Strixhaven. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Oh, they do have art cards again. Yay! I love art cards. Like a token card. I like using art cards to act as like copy tokens and stuff because they're pretty, or to use as like player kind of things. Like Arena has like your player avatar. I like using them like that as well. Whoop. I saw a little bit of spoilers of the Mystical Archive there. Alright, our first common here is Last Gas, 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 black. Instant, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. It is a little bit of removal from Witherbloom. Alright, let's put that to the side. We have Ascendant Dust Speaker, 5 mana. Or Cleric with Flang. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature control. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. That's a little expensive mana-wise. There's some niche points to play this, but you gotta have to build around it. I don't think it's really the best card. I would probably sub something out personally if you're playing pre-release or draft and you pull that. There are much better cards in this set. Shopkeeper's Bane, make it a 3 mana Badger Pest. Ooh. Into with the Badger Mole. Oh, technically this is a Badger, I guess, not a Badger Mole. It has Trample. Whenever this creature attacks, you gain 2 life. Ooh, that's very nice, actually. That is definitely a Witherbloom creature. If I did see one. We got Titan's Grave. It's one of the Surveil lands from Witherbloom. In foil. Nice. Then we have Primary Research, 5 mana cost. When this enchantment enters, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. At the beginning of your end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, draw a card. Very decent for an uncommon. Just lets you draw for when you put things. There's lots of combos for that. In Secrets of Strixhaven, very nice card. Then we've got Spectacular Sky Whale as our next card. This is, I haven't got a lot of Prismari stuff from this yet, so this would be nice. Wait, is Prismari blue and red? I mean, is it? There's like multiple things, right? that have multiple names for the 2 mana colors, depending on the plane we're in. Anyways, Elemental Whale is flying, and its opus is +3/+0 until end of turn. When you cast an instant, if 5 or mana was cast a spell, put 3/+1/+1 counters on this instead. Alright. Then we have Quillblade Blade Laureate. It's a creature with double strike. It enters prepared, and its prepare spell is Twofold Intent. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains double strike until end of turn. Very, very handy for aggro. And our first Japanese art here is an uncommon. It is a 2 mana blue. I'm not sure what that would be. Uncommon, 2 mana. Maybe it's Counterspell? But the art doesn't suggest Counterspell to me, so I'm not honestly sure. Like I said, I'm going to put all the Japanese arts to the side and try and find a Japanese art reference page so we can figure out exactly what these cards are, because I need to know what they are so I can play them. myself. Did I move those back into here? Yes, I did. All right. Our next Mystical Archive is Repel Calamity in foil. It's an uncommon. 2 mana, 1 white, 1 colorless. Destroy target creature with power toughness 4 or greater, and it is at instant speed as well. That looks really nice with the foil treatment. With the, like, I guess, bomb or shield protection. Yeah, I guess that's a shield because this, like, demon thing is coming and smacking his face. That looks really nice. I like that art. Alright, let's put that in a sleeve. And then we get a nice full art foil swap. Very nice. And this will start our rares of the pack. We've got Antiquities on the Loose. Create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature tokens. Oh, sorry, create 2 2/2 red and white spirit creature tokens. Then, if this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put a +1/+1 counter on each spirit you control, and it has flashback for 3 mana. That is a very interesting card. And then we have a commander card. We got Renegade Bull. So this is a creature Ox for 5 mana with trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that spell's mana value. Whenever this creature attacks, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Is that sorry? An instant or sorcery spell. That's very fun. Very fun. All right, let's throw this in a sleeve. It looks at the very least that we got the, like, nice printing house printing, because there's not a lot of print errors on this, which is nice, especially when you're paying exorbitant amounts for a collector booster box these days. Alright, our next card up is Mana Sculpt. It's a 3 mana, 1 colorless, 2 blue instant. It says counter target spell. If you control a wizard, add an amount of colorless equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell at the beginning of your next main phase. That's pretty handy, not gonna lie. Ooh, and then we get a rare 2 black. Oh god, I saw this unboxed by the professor when he was doing his Strixhaven collector booster box, but I could not tell you what that card is again. But it is a rare Japanese art, so we're gonna throw that in. Not in foil, but very nice looking art. Do enjoy it. Ooh, very curious to see what that Mystical Archive is that's popping up here behind Jadzi. But let's look at Jadzi. It's a 3 mana legendary creature human wizard. Jadzi enters prepared. When Jadzi enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. And its power spell is Oracle's Gift, which is a 1 blue double X card with sorcery. Create X/0/0 green and blue fractal creature tokens. Then put X+1/+1 counters on each fractal you control. Oh, that is disgust. That is a Quandrix synergy card if I have ever seen this. So fractals and Quandrix are powerful as a motherfucker. Alright, if you are in Quandrix, you want to make all the fractals you can. Actually, this will go really well with that nasty frog guy I showed earlier there from my pre-release at the start of the stream. So that is lovely synergy with that and other things. Oh, that's the art card, not a Mystical Archive. Duh. I was seeing in the back. That's a nice art card. I do like that. I do like my art cards. Alright, let's put the Japanese one to the side so we can figure out what that is later. Yeah, we'll throw this guy in a sleeve because I do like my art cards. Oh, no. Ooh, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Just a wee bend. Oof. Ooh, no, we don't want to do that. Oh. There you go. Couldn't tell. Let's not destroy my art cards. Do not destroy my very expensive cardboard. Alright. Let's move on to pack number 3. Pack number 2 was not as hot, but they can't all be super big winners. That's just not how it works. And let's god damn, these are like really gonna squeeze in there. I really like to not want to relinquish the expensive packs. Alright, we got Eager Glyph Mage. Let's bring this back a little bit centered on camera. It's gone a little off center now. Alright, we got Eager Glyph Mage. Woo! What does it do? 4 mana, when this creature enters, create 1/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Just creates inklings. Alright, and then we got another Shopkeeper's Bane. We've already seen this bad boy. Fun little guy. Heated Argument. 5 mana instant. Deals 6 damage to target creature. You may exile a card from your graveyard. If you do, Heated Argument also deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. Little sneaky workaround there. Then we have Essence Scatter. It is an instant that is a 2 mana counter target creature spell. Is that maybe? I mean, this is listed as uncommon, but that might just be because it's the Japanese art. Maybe this is Essence Scatter? I do not know. Quite honestly, I cannot read Japanese. Then we got Harsh Annotation. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white. Destroy target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 black or white and black inkling token creature with flying. And we got Charging Strife Knight. 3 mana with haste. Tap, discard a card, draw a card. Little hand fixer for you. And we've got Arnin Deathbloom Botanist. She is a vampire druid with Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with power or toughness 1 or less dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. They're nice for when you're getting rid of little inkling token creatures. And then we've got Helping Hand. It is a sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Quite handy, actually. For 1 mana, that is actually a genuinely, like, very nice thing, especially in white, because in white you have a lot of things. Yeah, I am ripping the entire box there. Shoe punch. 100%. We are ripping the whole box. And hello. Have you done any pre-release or draft nights? Yeah, I did my pre-release last night, and it was very fun. Highly recommend. Repel Calamity, we've already seen one of those guys. This one's not in foil. Still have very pretty art. Continuing with Strixhaven's very weird. Strixhaven always has like a really weird ordering to the cards. But we get a nice full art forest in foil. I really like the forest card on this set. The art's very nice for the full arts. Alright, and our first rare of this pack on pack number 3 is Nita Forum Consolator. It's 3 mana. What does this guy do? I have not seen this one yet. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. Oh, okay, I see. I was going to say, how are you getting to cast things you don't own? But its other ability does it. Exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast it this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery. Very interesting. Nice, nice. Which house did you go to? I did Quandrix. I was very, very happy with my Quandrix deck. I'm very excited. My local TCG store, we're doing like a house cup thing, so like we get to bring our pre-release kit, buy a booster as like every kind of year that we're going through school, and getting to like up it. Hey, look at that! That's one of the nice new commander lands. Plain Swamp. This land enters tapped unless your opponents control 8 or more lands. Ooh, and then coming up next, we got Emerititus of Woe. This is looking like a decent pack so far. Silver Quill. Nice. How'd you like Silver Quill? I won my first game against a Silver Quill player, but I don't think they had enough of the death touch and removal that Silver Quill can have, based on what I'm opening in these packs anyways. We got Emerititus of Woe. It's a 4 mana. This creature enters prepared at the beginning of your end step. If 2 or more creatures die this turn, this creature becomes prepared. And then you can... Oh, this has... Oh, this is the one with Demonic Tutor on it. Oh, is its prepared spell. That's gross. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle. And I don't have to reveal it either. Oh, that is a very nice card. Emerititus of Woe. Love that. Yeah, that's great. Glad you liked it. Glad you liked it. Yeah, no, Secrets of Strixhaven. It's a great setup. I'm loving it so far. I'm worried about things getting banned almost immediately though, because the power level of this set is kind of insane. Like my pre-release deck, even from just like the pre-release, has like such a decent power level. Like I'm actually confident that it's very modern playable, especially with Quandrix. Like I can just take my like Ouroboros and throw it in that deck and possibly like what was it, the other one I wanted to throw in? Oh, Nylea, the one that the enchantment like god creature that gives everything trample, because that will just be disgusting. Anyways, we have Shamanic Revelation as our Mystic Archive. It is a 5 mana sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control. You gain 4 life for each creature you control, power 4 or greater. That is quite nice, quite spicy. It's a little expensive on the mana curve, but like really it's not that bad. Alright, then we have Joined Researchers, but in its rare. I don't know if I opened this one yet, at least from Collector Booster. It's first strike at the beginning of each end step. If an opponent has more cards in hand than you, this creature becomes prepared, and its prepare spell is Secret Rendezvous. For 3 mana, you and a target opponent each draw 3 cards. Alright. Nice. Very nice. Primo the Indivisible. Oh, this is a special fractal token. That must go with like one of the special commanders. I like that all the tokens actually in the collector boosters are foil. That's kind of nice. Alright, I have not actually taken the one from there. Definitely OP. Which one's OP? Oh yeah, Emeritus. Wow, that's probably that's probably what we're talking about as being like, yeah, this one's nice. I don't know. I pulled the one with Ancestry Recall on it in my pre-release pack. I don't understand the people that were like, oh no, they're reprinting the reserve list. I'm like, it's pay 5 mana for the privilege of paying 1 to cast Ancestry Recall. And Ancestry Recall really isn't that broken in modern Magic anymore. Especially when we have Mathemagics from Strixhaven. I am building a Jace and Shieldred the Apocalypse deck around it, and it is going to be disgusting. It's basically either I'm a deck you, and you're going to lose, or I'm a deck myself, and I'm going to win. It's going to be such a gross deck. Oh, God, my God. Oh, man, I swear they use all the freaking glue on the collector booster packs, and then nothing on the fucking play boosters. Jesus Christ. Oh, there we go. There we go. Alright. Render speechless. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose a non-land card. Have them discarded. Put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Very nice. And we have Strife Scholar, 3 mana, 2 colorless, 1 red, ward. Not yada. This creature enters prepared. Create 2/2 red and white spirit creature tokens. Kind of nice. Yeah, it's common. It's definitely not the most powerful common in this set. So, you know, moving on. Rapier Wit, 2 mana, instant, tap target creature. If it's your turn, put a stun counter on it. Little delay spell for Silver Quill. Then we have Elemental Mascot. This is a creature elemental bird. It has flying and vigilance. And its opus is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +1 to 0 till end of turn. If you cast it with 5 or more mana was spent, that spell, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until the end of next turn. Little handy ramp spell. Then we have an elf, a druid, Emil. Legendary creature. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have trample. Oh, where were you last night on my pre-release? You're another Nightlia. Very handy. This is also very. Yes, that's why it has the Quandrix watermark on it. Yeah, this is very handy for Quandrix. Create a 0/0 green blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Probably a little bit more useful in Commander for that second part, but that top part that gives other creatures with +1/+1 counters on it trample is very handy for Quandrix. Because you make big boys, but there's a lot of like decently sized blockers in this set, so having the trample, very nice, very nice. That is probably gonna go into my Quandrix thing possibly, because I'm using my Nightlia in another deck anyway, so that will be very good for that. Then we got Chiral History Buff. Legendary creature, vampire cleric. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, he becomes prepared. I think we've seen this guy already. Pack a punch. Mill a card, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Yeah. Cool. Stirring Haunter Mask. There's a lot of these kind of odd dual mana ones. So they got the one of each color, and then they've got one dual mana pip, which is it's a lot. When this creature enters, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So this is going to be a really nice one if you are going to be playing a graveyard deck. Can't remember. I think it was one I pulled last night. But there's a really gross card that basically allows you to exile your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard, sacrifice all the creatures that are on the board, and then return your graveyard to the, or return all the creatures from everyone's graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Now, if there's another, I can't remember if it's an instant or sorcery, but there is a card that allows you to just remove and exile all of your opponent's creatures from their graveyard and gain 2 life for each creature removed that way. Can't for the life of me remember the name of the card at the moment. I run it in a couple of decks that I have, and a couple like mill decks. That would combo so nicely together, because you can just exile that person's creatures from their graveyard, then board wipe everything, return all your creatures from the graveyard with something that's like milled a bunch of them like this, and then you have all the creatures, but your opponent does not. It is a nasty graveyard deck strategy. Alright, and then our uncommon Japanese art foil in this deck is something. It's definitely something. I could not tell you what. I do not read Japanese, but it is a pretty art. We will put it to the side and figure out what it is at the end. Then we have Royal Treatment for 1 green. It's an instant. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Create a royal roll token attached to that creature. If you control another roll on it, put that one into the graveyard. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. Oh, okay, so that's what these rolls are. Oh, okay, so it's like an equipment, but you can only have one of it on attached to a creature, and they do a thing. Okay, cool. That makes sense to me now. It's a nice foil, but like I feel like kind of the background is like very faded on it. I don't know if that comes across on camera as much, but like this like light green seems like a little faded to me. Let's see. Alright, then we get a nice full art foil island. And we're into our rares. Our first rare is Harmonized Trio. Lots of merfolks. The professor is gonna be happy for his merfolk. Harmonized Trio, 1 blue. Creature, merfolk, bard, wizard. Tap 2 untap creatures you control. This creature becomes prepared. And it had... Oh, this is the one with Brainstorm. Okay. Instant, draw 3 cards. Then put 2 cards from your hand on the top of your library in any order. Doop. And into a sleeve. Alright, and then our commander card here is Augusta, Order Return. It is a 3-mana Spirit Advisor with Flying and Vigilance. Whenever Augusta attacks, each player exiles a card from the graveyard. When 1 or more non-land cards are exiled this way, put that many +1/+1 counters on target attacking creature. Cool. Hey, there's my frog guy. That's kind of nice to have a second one of him. I got him as a foil promo in my other deck, but he is a very handy frog guy. This guy is really good if you're in Quandrix. If you get a copy of this in your pre-release or draft, steal that shit. Put that in your deck. You will very much like it. It has Increment, which already does a lot of stuff, so having Increment is also kind of broken. Then it says, whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Berta, add 1 mana of any color. So it's also a mana dork. And then, on top of that, it has the X and tap spell, or activated ability that says, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and put X +1/+1 counters on it, allowing you to trigger Increment on all... Actually, no, I don't think it does count for Increment, because Increment only cares about casting spells, not activating abilities. But it does let you make some big boys very quickly when you don't have anything else to play, or nothing in ideal. It is very nice. It will come in clutch on a pre-release if you are in Quandrix. Highly recommend getting a copy in there. A very nice card. And then we have Preordain. It is a 1 blue mana sorcery rare. Scry 2, then draw a card. Very handy. I do like a scry. No way. No way. We got a second freaking Elder Dragon. Let's go. And it's the foil too. So now we got 2 of those. That's wild. That's a solid pull right there. Let's fucking go. All right. That's wild. We got a second one. I was cracking. I saw it at the beginning of the thing. But I was cracking. I got this and a play booster as well. That play booster was cracked because I pulled 3 mythics in that play booster. Pulled these guys out of that play booster because that play booster didn't need enough value as it was. But that's wild. We got 2 of these bad boys. It is the 288 version, so that's a 45 USD card, $60 Canadian. Let's go. That is some good pulls, boys. We're making our money back. Of course we're not, because I'm not gonna. Actually, well, I don't need multiple copies of this. So actually, I can sell one of these cards and get something else for it. I might actually sell a Magic card. So I was like, oh yeah, I got my value back. But then it's like, am I going to sell it? No. So do I really make my money back? No. But it's nice. Let's go. We got 2 foils, Elder Dragons. Maybe I can get someone to trade me for one of the other Elder Dragons for this guy. But yeah, let's go. Let's go. That is helping to pay back this very expensive cardboard booster box. And then we got an art card, which is a really nice looking art card. I do like the art cards in Strixhaven. To get that slid in there. Ooh, it's a little tight. Let's not bend it. Put this to the side, actually. All right, let's get into cracking. Which pack are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we are on pack 5. Not doing too shabby so far. Elder Dragon definitely helped pull us along, but I don't know the valuation of all the cards off the top of my head. And plus, there's still a lot of like pre-order pricing going on, so the prices of cards are going to be very much all over the place. All right, what do we got here? Bogwater Lumeret. Whenever this creature or another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Oh yeah, this is basically a cross between. Wait, sorry. Does this another creature you control? Okay, so this is like basically what's her name? Yeah, it's the white. It's basically the white life gain creature from Edge of Eternities, but it doesn't draw you a card. But it's also in black and green, which is very nice for black and green people to have life gain triggers like that without having to splash white. We got another page of loose leaf. Waha, that'll be my second one. This one's on foil. Need about 4 of those to make them really, really useful. Visionary Dance. Great. 2, 3, 3 blue and red elemental creature tokens with flying. That's going to be a little clutch if you are in red and blue. Then we got my boy Wild Hypothesis. Very handy card. This is basically the same thing as the activated ability from the frog guy that we just saw recently. Only it also lets you surveil too. Very handy for getting some large creatures out, and if you're in Quandrix with Increment, this is a great card to trigger your increments with. Graduation Day. It has Repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Cool. An additive evolution. And foil. Again, a very nice, fancy one. This is actually very handy. It gives a +1/+1 counter at the beginning of combat. Very handy. Again, it's good for green. Let's put that to the side. We got Eternal Student. 4 mana, Zombie Warlock. Exile this card from your graveyard. Create 2 white and black Inkling creatures. That's a little expensive for what that does, honestly. I don't know if that... Oh, I see some spoilers back there. We've got a fancy Japanese art. Let's see what... We'll see what that is in a second. Alright, we got whatever this Japanese art is. It's an uncommon, but I honestly do not know what it is off the top of my head. Could not tell you. There's a 4 mana cost pay there. It's 1 red. I do not know. Oh, it's A. We already got this one, but it is the like fancy version of it. That is very pretty. This is my first time seeing this kind of foiling treatment in person. That is very nice foiling. This actually is really nice. I think it's actually, honestly, like the silver, like kind of foiling around this. I do like this a lot better than like the little gold foiling dots that they did on the previous Secrets of or original Strixhaven one. But I don't know if this one's a super pricey one to get because I don't know what it is yet. And Scryfall, for whatever reason, doesn't have the Japanese arts in the Secrets of Strixhaven main list, so I will have to figure this out a little bit later, but yes, very nice, very nice. That's our first one. Put that aside with the rest of the Japanese arts and figure out what it does later. And decide if I'm going to sell and buy the English version so I can actually read my card. Full Art Forest. Again, I really like this art. It's nice art. And moving on, we've got Choreographed Sparks. 2 mana red instant. The spell can't be copied. Choose one or both. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Copy target creature spell you control. The copy gains haste, and at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice this token. Very nice, very nice. Oh, that's actually probably really good in a goblin deck, because there's a lot of goblin cards that care about when you kill or destroy another goblin creature token, or sack token, so that's actually probably really nice for a goblin deck. And then we've got our commander card is a Merchant of Venom. It is a 4-mana, 1 black, 3 colorless with Menace. When this creature enters, each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Lovely jubbly. Slide that in a sleeve. Again, very good for black sacrifice decks. Then we have Grave Reacher. Ooh, there's a very fancy card coming behind this. Or, sorry, Grave Researcher, not Grave Reacher. Is a creature troll warlock. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Then, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature becomes prepared. It has Reanimate, which is a sorcery to say put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to that card's mana value. Interesting. I feel like there are cards that will negate the downsides of this card in black, so I think this could go pretty well in the case of a mono black deck. There's definitely use cases for it. Oops, skipping ahead. Let's throw this guy in here. Cool, and then we got Angel's Grace. 1 colorless, or sorry, 1 white instant, split second. Says, as long as the spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Basically, let me play this so you can't counter my things, because you can't add things to the stack. It says you can't lose the game this turn, and your opponents can't win the game this turn. Until end of turn, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. Oh, that is a very, very nice instant to keep yourself in the game, especially for white, where you can then just possibly trigger a lot of life gain in a turn and get yourself back in the game. So that is a very nice instant. Yeah, that is very, very nice, very playable, very handy, and for only 1 white mana too. That is crazy. Then we get this guy. So you can either play. I haven't seen that hybrid mana. So I'm assuming this basically means you can either play 4 colorless or 2 green to cast this. And it is Wild Growth Archaic. It is an avatar creature. It has trample and reach. It has converge. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. That's okay. That's how that works. So if you pay 4 different colors in the colorless, you get 4 +1/+1 counters. But if you just pay the 2 green, then, or green and 2 colorless, well, yeah, if you just pay the 2 green, it only enters with 1 +1/+1 counter on it. I see how this is balanced. So whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. That is going to be lovely for your multicolor decks. That also happen to do +1/+1 counters. That is very nice. There is lots of really nice, very niche cards and Secrets of Strixhaven for like all kind of deck building. I am loving this set so far. Actually, this is probably going to be my favorite set of the year, for sure. This set is actually crazy. And then we get our token, Elemental and Treasure token. Right. On to pack number 6. Wow, we're halfway through. Alright, we're halfway through and got lots of nice cards so far, so let's see what the second half has for us. Hopefully it's not a case of you had me in the first half. Well, actually, I don't know. But I don't think that meme correctly applies here. fight the glue. We open. Open. What? Biblioplex Tomekeeper. It is a 4-mana artifact creature construct. As creature enters, choose up to one. Target creature becomes prepared, or target creature becomes unprepared. It's a little bit niche, and probably draft environment for Secrets of Strixhaven. It is helpful because you can make your opponent's creatures become unprepared, so they can't cast their prepare spell, or make yours creatures become prepared very easily. So very handy in Secrets of Strixhaven. But if you are not really, if for more general decks, if you're not in a draft or sealed environment, it's not as useful. Procrastinate. I've said it before. This thing is solid. All right, this is a great early game kind of. It's not really removal, but it really does help allow you to build up a board state if someone drops a fairly gnarly creature early game. Just allows you to just not have to think about it for a couple turns very easily because it puts twice the number of X stun counters on a target creature. So you can just even pay 2 mana, you pay 3 mana for this. That creature can't do anything for 4 turns. Very, very useful, especially if you're in Quandrix, to help delay the game so that you can get to the mid game and build your board state up. Then we have Rearing Embrace, Horse Beast, basic 4/5 with reach and haste. We've got Burrog Banemaker, Frog Warlock with Death Touch, and you can pay 2 mana to put a +1/+1 on it until the end of turn. Although I don't really why you care about that because it has Death Touch, but whatever. You're intending to sacrifice that anyways. Alright, let me get Brush Off, which is a 4-mana instant. This spell casts 1 colorless and 1 blue less to cast if it targets an instant or sorcery spell. Okay, so it's a counter spell, but specifically for instants and sorceries. Because you wouldn't really want to pay 4 mana unless you had nothing else to do with your mana, honestly. For a counter spell, there are better counter spells for that. Startled Relic Sloth. We got 4 mana, trample lifelink at the beginning of combat on your turn. Exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Yeah. I don't know, the red and white, you have to have the right cards in here to make a lot of the graveyard interaction good. If you do not draft the right cards, you do not get that graveyard interaction that works as well. So it's like if you don't get the right build, it doesn't play out for you. Which is why I went Quandrix, because it's a lot more flexible overall. Arcane Omens, 5 mana, 4 colorless, 1 black sorcery. It has Converge. Target player discards X cards, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast the spell. Cool. Alright, then we get Royal Treatment. We've already seen this guy. Honestly, I think this card looks better in its non-foil. Because, like, all this green and stuff does not look as, like, desaturated. I think this is a card that is honestly one that looks better as its non-foil version. And then we've got behind that a foil Helping Hand for 1 mana and a sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Shininess. Shiny foil. Very fancy, very fancy. Get that slid in here. And actually, does that track out one of these? I swear. Nope. Got our full art island. Very nice, very nice. Then we get another Mana Sculpt. It's a nice little blue card. There for sure, but we've seen it before in this unpacking, so we're just gonna slip this guy in here. And our commander card for this pack is Striding Shotcaller. 2 mana, 1 blue, 1 green. It is a troll druid with a reach. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, this creature becomes prepared. And its prepared spell is Run the Play for 2 mana, 1 blue, 1 green, and X. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to X target creatures. Those creatures gain flying until end of turn. Draw a card. It's a very nice, like, let me jump above your creatures and smack you in the face card. Quite handy, honestly. And then we've got Exhibition Tidecaller for 1 blue mana. It is a Djinn wizard with Opus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 3 cards. If 5 mana was spent to cast that spell, that player mills 10 cards instead. For 1 mana, you... Oh, that's gross. That is gross. Mill players are gonna love this card. Triumph of the Hordes. It's our mythic. It's gonna be a mythic. Let's go. Sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample and infect. Oh my god. That is disgusting, especially if you are playing in Quandrix. Oh my god. Yeah, let me just give all my creatures infect so that they either give you poison counters if you hit your face or give your creatures -1/-1 counters. Yeah, that's yeah, that's yeah, that's fucking gross. Till end of turn. That's gross. That's gross. Everyone will hate you for playing that. Jesus. That is gross. I might have to throw that into my poison commander deck. That is disgusting. And then I think our final rare here is Dinah's Guidance. It is a 3 mana, 1 colorless, black and green instant with search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand or graveyard, then shuffle. 3 mana tutor. More 3 mana tutors. Just nice to have more of them, more options in different colors. I still wish my 1 mana green and white tutors were legal in Modern because I love using them in Historic, but no Modern for me. So sad. Hold on, there's our card. Little frog sending frog spirits, I guess, out of a jar. Okay. Interesting. All right, that is halfway through the pack. Or halfway through the box so far. We've had some decent hits already. We shall see if the hits keep coming. I'll have to look up our value later. I'm not sure I'm going to look that up on stream. But, yeah. Big stuff so far. Getting another Elder Dragon's Fire. Be nice to actually pull. I'd really like to get one of the Elder Dragons that has either the Quandrix one with Cascade or whichever one has Storm. I forget which one has Storm, but I want the one that gives everything Storm because that is also absolutely disgusting. Phyrexian Churn. Is there things that make Phyrexian tokens in Secrets of Strixhaven? That's interesting. I didn't realize that there was stuff that made Phyrexian tokens in this set. Oh, it does have the commander symbol, so it might be a commander reprint. That would make sense. Terrafractal. This is... Don't confuse the fact that this is a common. This is a very powerful card. If you are in Quandrix and you're doing draft or pre-release, you want a couple copies of this in your deck. It is flying. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature enters, you gain 2 life. It is very nice for triggering your increments and makes a big flyer. Can't complain about that. Imperious Ink Mage, 3 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 black. Creature Orc Warlock with Vigilance. When this creature enters, surveil 2. Just a little creature to surveil. Helps decide your draw for Silver Quill. Strife Scholar. Creature, Orc, Sorcerer. Ward, pay 2 life. Create 2/2 wireless things. We've seen it before. That's a thing. One of the Surveil dual lands. It's interesting, but it's nothing. It's pay 4 to Surveil 1. Nah. We got Luwen Exchange Student. 4 mana, 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 green. Legendary creature Elf Druid. Enters prepared. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Luwen become prepared. Activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. So she prepares herself. Huh? But she enters prepared. But she also exiles a creature card from her graveyard? Or is it just... Oh no, that's her exile. Okay, never mind. So the cost to activate her ability is to exile a creature card from your graveyard to make her prepared. That you can activate as a sorcery. Yeah, okay. Pest Friend! Pay 1 green or black mana to create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with whenever this token attacks, you gain 1 life. Nice, nice. Fractalize! Again, we've seen this before, I believe. Very nice just way to deal with a big creature. It just allows you to, at least a big creature that has like base power, like a big base power creature, just allows you to basically set their base power to a 1/1. Or you can buff your creatures, but honestly, it's more useful to debuff your opponent's creatures, in my experience, at pre-release. I've got Impractical Joke. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Impractical Joke deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Very handy. Deal with planeswalkers or just some small creatures before they get big. Handy for red. My pile's getting too big over here. I don't want things to fall all over the place. Gotta make a new pile. Then we have Zombify as our first mystic art. Sorcery, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield for 4 mana. It's not the greatest, honestly, it's not the greatest mana value to return a creature from the graveyard. There's lots of things that are much better value for like 3 mana. But I don't know, it's interesting. If you're running mono black, why not? Now, stock up. 3 mana sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And it's in a nice foil treatment. I do like the stock up art. It is very nice. Especially in its foil. Slide that bad boy in a sleeve. And then we get another full art swamp. Boom, there is our first rare of this pack. It is a land. It's about time we've seen a rare land. Well, other than, I guess, the nice commander dual land that we got earlier. But anyways, this is the Petrified Hamlet. It's a land that says, when this land enters, choose a land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they are mana abilities. Lands with the chosen name have tap, add colorless. This also has tap, add colorless. Quite nice. Just actually kind of nice to negate certain land effects. And right behind that, we've got another rare, one of the commander lands, the dual lands. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. It's effectively a Shattered Sanctum. I think Shattered Sanctum is the blue-white dual mana, but this one has to be basic lands instead of any lands. Not bad, not amazing. It's a decent dual land. Alright, and then our next rare is Tragedy Fester. It is a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 2 black creature demon It trample, its ward is to discard a card, and then it says infusion. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a permanent unless you gained life this turn. I guess it's a 7/6 for 4, so that makes sense. It is a bit of a thing, and it is in the alt art, so that's nice as well. The alt extended art with like all the fancy stuff. Very nice, very nice. Alright, then we have a culling ritual behind that. That is going to be a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 green sorcery. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. So this is a board wipe that gives you mana and destroys all little things. Quite handy, quite handy. And then we've got another petrified hamlet behind that. Alright, so this pack was just all about the rare lands, I guess. Very nice, very nice. This was removal and lands for this deck, I guess. Or for this pack. What was the theme for this guy? Alright, let's pull that off. Oh, I think this is the alt art one, actually, compared to the other one that we pulled. I don't think the other one was the extended art version, or was it? Yeah, okay. This is also the extended art version of Petrified Hamlet. Looks good with the extended art. Nice. And then we got a Thopter and Phyrexian Germ token. Alright, on to pack number 7. Rip, rip. Oh God, been streaming for an hour and a half. I think I streamed for way longer on his cracking up play booster box. But it's so fancy art. There's a lot more things to sleeve here. It is a collector booster. Ooh. Cracking is also harder. Ooh, let's go. We got a foil of Studious Verse here. Very, very handy card for 1 green. Creature Bear Wizard. This creature enters prepared, and you can search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield. It's a nice little land shuffler. Love it. It's a nice little card. Alright, then we have Volcanic Poet. It's an elf bard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, that targets a creature, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Stone Descent. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white. Creature, Spirit, Chimera, 1 white to exile this card. This pack is very off. There's a lot of off-center cards in this. WotC, come on now. Come on now. My collector boosters that we pay so much money for. And you're gonna give me some very off-center cuts. It's okay. All the good cards have been cut well, but that's our first sign of Hasbro, come on. Get your quality control in order. Alright, you're gonna make us pay this much for cards. Like, at least print them and cut them properly. Stone Docent. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white. Creature, Spirit, Chimera. Pay 1 white to exile this card from your graveyard. You gain 2 life. Surveil 1. Activate only as a sorcery. I got Stadium, Trial Mage. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Campus Composer. It is a Merfolk Bard. It is 4 mana. War 2, this creature enters prepared. Create a 3/3 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. Snarl Song. Converge. Create 2/0/0 green and blue fractal creature tokens. Put X+1/+1 counters on each of them. And you gain X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Potentially very handy in a multicolored deck. Then we have Artistic Process. This says choose 1. Artistic Process deals 6 damage to target creature. or deals 2 damage to each creature you don't control, or create a 3/3 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. Good way to deal with token creatures if someone is playing a mass token deck, especially that second option. It's basically a board wipe for your opponent if they have a bunch of small tokens on the board. That is a very nice pull. And then we have a Japanese art that is a 1 blue mana with a 2 cost somewhere in there. Is an uncommon. I could not tell you what it is, though. Ooh. Ooh. We'll figure that out later. Into another Japanese art. White? Something about creating a 1/1 creature. This might be a rabbit thing. I'm assuming this is creating a 1/1 rabbit creature. But I could not tell you what it is because I don't read Japanese. It's a theme here. All right, let's sleep that guy up. We've got a full art mountain. That's our first full art mountain we've seen so far. Very nice, very pretty. Alright, we've got more Quandrix cards here as our first rare of the pack. It is a Fractal Crab. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, look at the top X cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That could be like, it could be useful or it could kind of fuck you. It really depends on what your top deck is. This kind of thing. Oh, let's go! One of the Commander Planeswalkers. That's a well-priced card, I believe. It's also one of the ones that I think is sought after. People really like this guy. So this is Quintorius History Chaser. That is a legendary Planeswalker for 4 mana. It says whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Its +1 ability is you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards, the mill card. And its -4 ability is spirits you control gain double strike and vigilance until end of turn. And of course it says at the bottom that this guy can be your commander. Lovely jubbly. Alright, now we've got Hardened Academic. You got a 1 red, 1 white creature bird cleric with flying and haste. Discard a card. This creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Very handy for that set of colors. Okay. Throw that into the pile. And then we got another Japanese art. It is rare. It is 1 green, but again, I have no idea what the hell that is. Regardless, we're going to sleep that up and figure out what it is later. And we got Comforting Counsel. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 green enchantment. Says whenever you gain life, put a growth counter on this enchantment. As long as there are 5 or more growth counters on this enchantment, creatures you control get +3/+3. Yeah, that's very much on theme for Witherbloom. And our token is an Inkling Spirit. Okay, on to pack number 9. I'm really hoping to pull a full art Mathemagics. I didn't get any Mathemagics in my pre-release kit, but thankfully 2 people at pre-release were willing to sell me or trade me their copy of Mathemagics. So I've got 2 copies so far, but I would like to get a full playset for my gross Jace and Shieldred deck I'm building around it. So it'd be nice to get the full art one if we could from collector boosters. That would be nice. Got Mage Tower Referee. It is a 2 colorless artifact creature construct that says sorry, 1 second. I'm getting distracted. Jump ahead 30 seconds. Mage Tower Referee, 2 colorless artifact creature with construct. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Very simple. Nothing crazy. But very useful. Tone Blast. 1 colorless, 1 red. Deals 2 damage to any target and has flashback. Sneering Shade Rider. Flying. This creature enters. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Afflorance. 2 colorless, 1 green instant. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Infusion. If you gained life this turn, that creature also gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. Quite handy. Garrison Excavator. Orc Sorcerer with Menace. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature token. Not bad, not bad. We got Foolish Fate. Instant, destroy target creature for 3, and with Infusion, if you gained life this turn, that creature's controller loses 3 life. With the foil. Quandrix Charm. Very handy if you are in Quandrix. Hopefully you grab at least 1 or 2 of these guys in your pre-release or draft. It is a very handy card. Then our first Mystical Archive here is Spell Pierce. It is 1 blue instant. Counter target creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Very nice, very nice. And then we got Feed the Swarm in foil. Sorcery, destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. It's like, okay, it's just losing life. Unless you have something that says, like, if you would lose life, it deals to something instead. It's, good for removing, I guess, cheaper mana cost enchantments or target creatures, but like you don't want to use that against too big of a mana enchantment. That's for sure. This guy in the sleeve. And our first rare is Ambitious Augmenter. Comes in for 1 green mana with increment. And when this creature dies, if it had 1 or more counters on it, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, then put this creature's counters on that token. That is a fantastic, like, turn 1 play in Quandrix. 100%. Very solid card. Very handy. And then we've got Inspired Sky Painter. It is a 2 thing. It is our commander card for this pack. It's a creature lizard with flying. When this creature enters, and whenever 1 or more creature tokens you control deal combat damage to a player, this creature becomes prepared. It says create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. That token gains haste until end of turn. That is actually quite handy. This is another Joined Researchers. We have seen this guy before, though. So we will sleeve this and move on. Then we've got Return to the Ranks in foil for 2 white plus X. Sorcery says it has Convoke, so you can tap a creature to pay its 1 colorless. And then it says return X target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very handy to get your stuff back. Let's go. That's our second very fancy Japanese art. It is also a mythic, which is nice. I still don't know what it is, though. It's 2 green, 2 colorless. Oh, what's a mythic? Green. That's 4 mana like that. Could not tell you. Could not tell you, but that is very nice. I actually really like that art. And the foiling is like really subtle on the rest of the card. But like, that's a very nice card. Let's very carefully get this guy in a sleeve. Oh, you can actually feel, oh, the foiling on that is actually like raised. Like you can actually feel the foiling on that. That's really nice. But yeah, that's a nice pull right there. Put that in the Japanese stack so we can figure out what it actually is later. I think you're on average only supposed to pull like one of those in a collector booster box, so we're doing pretty good as far as averages on those so far. All right, I got 3 more booster packs left. Let's crack. Ooh, booster pack number 10. Oh my god, these freaking things are very well glued in here. Jesus Christ. Open! Alright. We have Pursue the Past. You gain 2 life. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. And it has flashback. Textbook Tabulator. 3 mana, creature frog wizard. It has increment. And when this creature enters, surveil 2. We have seen this guy before. Unsubtle Mockery. Unstable Mockery deals 4 damage to target creature, surveil 1, and it is 3 mana card. Did I have a red card that kind of looked like this? Nope. Okay. Old Growth Educator. 4 mana, has Vigilance and Reach, and its infusion ability is when this creature enters, put 2+1/+1 counters on it if you gained life this turn. Quandrix, Paradox Surveyor. Went over this with my pre-release deck that I built. Handy card. Looks at the top 5 cards and let's see, get something out of there. Plus it's a 3/3. It's good value for a 3 mana. We got Snooping Page. It's a 3 mana human cleric with repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, this target can't be blocked this turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Return the Favor. It's an instant. It has Spree. Choose 1 or more additional costs. You can either copy target instant spell, sorcery, spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. You may choose new targets for the copy or pay another 1. Change the target of a target spell or ability with a single target. Very, very handy. This is actually a very nice uncommon Mystical Archive. Because what it allows you to do is say, if your opponent casts something nasty as an instant, well, let me just return the favor. Literally the namesake of the card. And send it right back at you as well. We got another Japanese art. Uncommon. It says something. It does something. What it does, I do not know, because I cannot read Japanese. We will find out later. on to the snack of Japanese arts. Then we've got our full art mountain. Lovely. Ooh, love a mythic. Love a mythic. Oh, this is the Black Paradigm mythic. Let's go. We got 3 out of 5 Paradigm mythics now. Because I got the blue one and the green one in pre-release. Well, I actually paid for the blue one off someone. I bought it off someone. But I did get the green one in my things. Anyways, Decorum Dissertation, 5 mana, 3 colorless, 2 black. Sorcery lesson. The grossest part about the fact that these are lessons is, if you remember from the original Strixhaven set, there are cards that just basically allow you to say, we're going to pay an activated ability cost or whatever, and you can go search from any lesson card that you own and put it into your hand. So the fact that these are lessons is extremely goddamn broken. Because you can just tutor any of these you own, and it doesn't count towards your deck size. It's gross, is what this is. All of these. Anyways, this is target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Oh my god. With Paradigm, that's going in my Shieldred Jace deck that I'm building with Mathemagics, because that just basically says every turn I get to target the player to draw 2 cards and lose 4 life from Shieldred, and then lose an additional 2 life, so 6 life every turn. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Alright, then we have Lattice Library as our commander card. It is a 2 green X enchantment. It says, this enchantment enters with X study counters on it when this enchantment enters, and whenever you cast your first spell with X and its mana cost each turn, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of study counters on this enchantment. Makes a bunch of lovely dribbly tokens for you. Very handy. Also handy for bringing up your increment creatures as well, because it's an X cost card. Alright. Our next creature here, or artifact I should say, is Resonating Lute. It's 4 mana artifact with lands you control have tap, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast instant and sorcery spells. That's very nice for Strixhaven. Draw a card. Activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. Very nice. Right, and then we've got another... Oh, this is a Phyrexian one. I don't know what it is, though. Let's pay 2 Phyrexian mana and 1 colorless. It is a rare, and it looks like there is some other stuff to pay, and it's either does -1 or something, or a -5, -5. Not 100% sure. Oh, and then we got another one of the cards that I have beef with Wizards of the Coast on again. Wizards, the errata text you did on this initially is stupid. Leave this card how it is written. It is perfectly fine with how it is written. It does not need to enter the battlefield tapped, regardless if you pay the X spell. Otherwise, what is the point of paying X? Or at least paying it to 3, because it's going to enter tap regardless. That was a stupid errata. This card is fine and perfectly balanced as it is written for green. There's plenty of other 4 mana, 6/6s in green. The errata text for this card is stupid, and I will stand by that. If anyone is playing against me, you are perfectly fine to ignore the errata with me, because this is a stupid card that they errated. Well, more like the errata text on this card is stupid. But yeah, I got beef with you, Watsy, over this. Alright, let this card be as it was designed. Alright. Don't give me this, oh, we didn't intend for it to work that way. It is a very clear sentence regarding its tapping requirements. You forgot to write this creature enters tapped on it. There is no need to errata it. It is perfectly fine. And we got a little foil token. Alright, on to our last 2 collector boosters here. see if we can pull a full art Mathemagics in these last two. Or possibly, hopefully, another Elder Dragon. I would love to get the one that gives Storm. That would be very handy. Yeah, there we go. Come on out. Holy crap. These packs really do not want to open today. We got Heated Argument. We've already seen that guy before. Got another one of the life gain cards for Wither Bloom. Whenever one or more cards leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Very handy for them. We got a Paradox Gardens. It's one with the Surveil lands. Very nice. Then we have Teacher's Pest. 2 mana skeleton creature with menace. Whenever this creature attacks, you gain 1 life. Menu can turn this to the battlefield tapped, if you wish. Forum Necroscribe. It's a creature troll warlock. Ward, discard a card, repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or source spell that targets a creature, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, then we've got Daydream for 1 white sorcery. You get to exile target creature you control. Then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. And it has flashback. Very handy for blinking your creatures to fizzle someone else's instant or sorcery spell. Then we get another Japanese art. It is a 1 green, colorless. I know that probably says choose one, or yeah, there's one in there. So that says choose one, and you get to do one of these abilities. But do I know what else this says? Absolutely goddamn not. No, I do not. All right, so let's throw that in a sleeve. All right, and then we have Bitter Triumph. 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 black. Instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card or pay 3 life. Destroy target creature or a planeswalker. Very nice, very nice. Planeswalker removal is always nice to have, because there's not a lot of it. Then we have a basic land plains. Well, there's not, I should say, there's not a lot of it, or it's expensive. One of the two. All right. Cool. And then we get another nice dual land. Love those. These are always good value. Sundown Pants. Sundown Pant. Jesus. Lol. Sundown Pass. It is a land. It has this land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. This is the nice one. This is the one that doesn't require them to be basic. These are the superior versions of the dual lands for those if you get one. Very nice. All right, our commander card here is a Nexus Mentality. It is a 4 mana, 3 colorless, 1 blue. Instant says choose one. If you control a commander as you cast the spell, you may choose both instead. Move all counters from target non-land permanent you control to another target non-land permanent you control, or remove all counters from target non-land permanent you control. Draw a card for each counter removed this way. It's a decent little draw engine, especially when you have increment and you can just cast another spell and suddenly it's all back up to big. Ooh, and then we get the full art of Sundown Pass. So that's probably worth a little bit. It's another very nice dual mana land in its full art treatment. It's not foil, but it's still full art. And I think that card behind it's going to make up for it. Anyways, Jeska's Will, 3 mana, 2 colorless, 1 red. Sorcery Mythic. Choose one. If you control a commander, as you cast this spell, you may choose both instead. Add 1 red for each card in target opponent's hand. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Very handy in red. For sure. Let's that there. That to the side, and then we have fix what's broken. That's a 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 black. As an additional cost to cast this spell, pay X life. Return each artifact and creature card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is disgusting, especially if you mix it with life gain and soul warden, so you have like a bunch of health to just dump into that. That is gross. Like, it does not, like, what? Pay 5 life to just return all of your 5 mana creatures from your graveyard? That is disgusting in a white-black deck. If you have a white-black graveyard deck, you need to put that in your deck now. That is absolutely disgusting and a really nice Silver Quill card. And then we get our copy Spirit Token in foil. All right, we're down to one last pack. This is our final pack. This is our last chance to get a nice full art Mathemagics. Let's hope we pull one. Open! Open! Oh my gosh. Sheesh. Okay. Boop, boop, boom. We're starting off with a Hydro Channeler. It is a 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 blue with a creature Merfolk Wizards that says tap, add 1 blue. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. For 1 colorless, and tapping this card, we can add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. It is a mana fixer. It's okay. It's not a great mana fixer. It is the mana fixer. Ancestral Anger, 1 red. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Draw a card. This is all the people that are angry about Ancestral Recall being printed as a prepared spell. This is all of you. You are silly. Alright, then we got Grapple with Death. Destroy target artifact or creature, you gain 1 life. Let's see. A Johnny's Response. For 5 mana instant, the spell costs 3 less to cast. If it just targets a tapped creature, destroy target creature. Silver Quill Charm. Choose 1, put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Exile target creature with power 2 or less. Each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Zamone's Experiment. And then we have the Prismari Charm. Choose 1, surveil 2, then draw a card. Prismari Charm deals 1 damage to each of 1 or 2 targets, and return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. We're then going to pull a Sleight of Hand. It is a 1 blue mana sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, and the other on the bottom of your library. Very nice, very nice. We have Deduce. It is a 2 mana, 1 colorless, 1 blue creature or instant. That says draw a card, investigate, create a clue token. And yeah, you get to draw a card and create a clue token that allows you to sacrifice for 2 and draw another card. And foil. Very nice. Then we have our Full Art Mountain. Some more Full Art lands to throw in my Goblin deck. This would be nice. We have Suspend Aggression. It is an instant that says exile target non-land permanent, and the top card of your library. For each of those cards, its owner may play it until the end of their next turn. Cool. Then we have Changing Loyalty as our commander card. It's a 2 mana card that has Flash, Replicate 2. Or Replicate for 2 colorless? I'm assuming Replicate means you can duplicate this spell. I'd have to look up that keyword. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Cool. Basically just allows you to protect something from dying. Harmonized Trio, but in its extended art treatment. We've seen this guy before. Spoilers. I don't think we pulled a Mathemagics though, sadly. Culling the Weak. 1 black, instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, and then add 4 black mana to your mana pool. And then we have Zafari the Tempest. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Oh, very nice, very nice. Doom and Toop. Alright, and then just lying in cat token as our last token there. Alright, let's grab our hits out of this. See what we got overall. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of dual lands, which is nice. Those are usually like $10 and up, depending on the exact type of dual land. Doom. Boom. The commander, I know the commander planeswalkers are worth a good amount of money, so that's going to go a long ways to covering the cost of the box. Boom. 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 Boom and boom. Boom. Ah! Oh no. Cards on the floor. Cards on the floor. Oh! Let's be careful not to roll over cards. Weak. Oh my god, there's actually quite a lot of rares. I think I already looked through all these. Yeah, let's put those aside. Let's get the rest of these guys off the floor. Boom. Okay. Is that everything I thought before? Yes, it is. Cool. That's a big hit. Hit. Rare. I think that's like, we can technically call that a hit. It's a special treatment, even though it's an uncommon. Mythic. We got a lot. We actually got a couple mythics in the Japanese art style, so that's good. Can't complain there. Yeah? I'm streaming. Oh god, that's a really large stack of rares and mythics.
John, can you come get the call?
I can in a minute. I am streaming. Goodbye. I can help you in a minute. Jesus, people do not know how to respect someone's space. All right. Holy crap, this is a big freaking pile of hits. Oh my god. Jesus. Like, clearly we must have made our money back on this booster box. Because, like, that is practically a deck of rares and mythics, so something in there is going to be worth a decent value. So we got Flashback, All in Spiralmancer, Erode, Professor Delian Fell, Antiques on the Loose, Renegade Bull, Mana Sculpt, Jadzi, Steward of Fate, Nita, Forum Consolator, Turbulent Moor, Joined Researchers, Shamanic Revelation, Emeritus of Woe, Harmonized Trio, Augusta Overreturned, Berta Wise Extrapolator, Preordain, Choreographed Sparks, Merchant of Venom, Grave Researcher, Angel's Grace, Wild's Growth Archaic, Mana Sculpt, well, another Mana Sculpt, I should say, Striding Short Collar, Exhibition Tide Collar, Dinah's Guidance, Zafari and the Tempest, whatever that is. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. In the fancy treatment. Whatever that is. Whatever this is. In the fancy treatment. Whatever that is. Suspend aggression. Slumbering Trudge. I still got beef with you, Watsy. I'm gonna say I got beef with you every time this card shows up. Harmonized Trio. Stack the decks so those don't all go to the floor. Harmonized Trio. We get a Culling the Weak. Nexus Mentality. Sundown Pass. Other nicer, prettier Sundown Pass. Jessica's Will. Fix What's Broken. Changing Loyalty. Lattice Library. Decorum Dissertation. Return to the Ranks. Another Joined Researchers. Inspired Sky Painter. Ambitious Augmenter. Triumph of the Hordes. Comforting Counsel. Hardened Academic. Quintus History Chaser. Geometer's Arthropod. Petrified Hamlet. another Petrified Hamlet in the less fancy art. Eclipse Step. Tragedy Fester. Coloring Ritual. Witherbloom the Balancer. And Resonating Loot. All in all, didn't get my Mathemagics full art, but it's fine. I will buy 2 more copies of that for my deck, but that's a lot of rares and mythics, so I'll have to add that up later, but I'm sure I made my collector booster box back at that point. With that many rares and mythic, there's got to be something in there worth something to add up to it. But yeah, that is going to be the stream. Since I don't know where the Japanese arts I can look up for, but I will have to look up for those, and I do have to go. I am being called and needed. So with that, thanks for watching the stream today, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite house of Secrets of Strixhaven is, or what your favorite card is from Secrets of Strixhaven. Do you have any ideas for super broken decks? Love to hear about them. Leave a comment below and like the video if you enjoyed this unpacking of me gambling so you don't have to. Alright, with that, have a good day, guys. Peace out. Enjoy